Welcome back. I'm Connie Carroll, and I'm so happy every Thursday to welcome our CEO report with our CEO, Mr. Brad Hudson. Good to be here.
Nice to be back. I had a little hiatus. Chuck Holland was here last week to give a tech update, a prelude to his town hall that's coming up.
That is true.
Very exciting, and I'm glad to be here today to talk about the GRF budget and some of the things going on there.
Well, that was handled yesterday in the GRF 2018 budgetary meeting, and so you're going to give us a recap today.
Right. Well, maybe starting off on the operational side, the budget's fairly flat. Actually, overall, the GRF budget's down a little bit. We have a lot of capital projects, but the total cost of those is a little less than was in the 30-year plan. So you'll see a little bit of reduction in the overall budget. So we're pleased. We try to keep the budgets as responsible as we can and keep assessments reasonable for our residents, and that's a very high priority. And also to provide a lot of great improvements.
True, and then also in that meeting yesterday, your primary goal is transparency. And truly in that meeting, every line item was discussed and brought forward so people really know what's going on.
No, our CFO went through in great detail, excruciating detail, every line item so that residents and the boards can be fully aware of things that are changing and why they're changing, whether they're up or down. And then also to talk about all the various projects that are slated for next year, which is what we're going to talk about today.
And you brought some
photos. I brought a few pictures. If you saw the meeting yesterday, maybe some of this will look very familiar, but I guess we're going to start off with the gates, which is the big enchilada for next year. And so we're proposing in United to do the gate arms at 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're not sure about 4 yet. It's a little more complicated. It's an out-only gate, and so we've got some complexities there that we're still working on, but we'll have a solution for that as well. And then in third, we're looking at 7, 8, 9, and 14.
That's a lot of gates.
That is a lot of gates.
Just for those two mutuals.
Big project, and it'll take us a good part of the next year to get that done. That's why I'd like to start early. I've asked the GRF board if I can get an early release on some of these funds so we can start as soon as the budget's adopted in September.
And the photo that we have on the screen right now shows the conditions. Well, you see the
well, that's
electrical
a gate
outlet.
house. That's a little bit different. It's not gate arms, but the gate houses are going to be remodeled this year.
And
we're already working on it. Oh, they're in pretty bad shape. You can see the dry rot there and old lights, electrical that looks a little substandard. A lot of things that need to be completed on those. Now we remodeled gate houses 2 and 3 in United last year, and they turned out really well, and 14 as well, just the gate house, not the technology and the arms, just the gate house. And so we'll be going through in the next really month or so and remodeling. 7's already done, but we'll be doing 8 and 9 to get those cleaned up in anticipation for the technology and the arms to come later this year or early next year. So there's a lot of pieces to this. We're trying to be very efficient and frugal with residents' money, but also provide the technology they need to let their guests in and also provide better security. We've found from 5 and 6 that we can figure out who's causing a problem over there very quickly.
Oh, good.
And so we have video of vehicles coming in, license plates. If they have an RFID, we have that. If they show a member ID, we scan that. So we have a really good idea of the comings and goings in that area, and it's very helpful in terms of securing the community, and we're very excited to bring that to the rest of the community.
It is exciting, and all that upgraded technology, of course, needs the gate houses to be able to bring up the substandard conditions.
Right.
Not only for the technology, but for those wonderful residents that are the gate ambassadors.
Yeah, some of these gates are pretty gruesome. 4 is really just a kind of a temporary gate that's become permanent gatehouse, and so it's very substandard. And then probably the worst is 12, which is at the Village Greens and Clubhouse 2. But that's a very complicated project because it's got to be, that one has to be relocated and rebuilt. All the geometrics of the roads and the parking lot have to be kind of redone at the entrance. So we're just planning on designing that next year with construction in 19.
Very good.
Yeah, similarly, you have gates 10 and 11, which may be combined. And so we're not sure about that yet. We're studying it. We're going to provide a report to GRF and the mutuals about the complexities involved in that and how it might work to combine those gates. From a financial standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. We'll save over $200,000 a year in annual operating costs, which is a lot, and a couple $100,000 in actually installing the technology.
Wonderful.
Now, that's a little bit limited by the fact that can you make it work well enough so all the residents are happy? And so we've got to come up with a design that everyone embraces, and
yes.
that's the key, and that's what we're going to work on for the next year for those two gates. So 10, 11, 12, really just design in the GRF budget with construction, and I don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet until the design's done, probably in 19.
Yes, 2019.
Right.
Well, residents will be so happy, I'm sure, to know that the gates are being upgraded and their security is always going to be a concern of yours.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a big selling point to this community. It's just how secure it is.
And then yes, that's really our number one priority.
Yes.
I mean, yes, we've got to take care of our resident safety and security, their manners, the landscaping, and then all the other stuff comes after that. Those are the big three. And so we're really focused on those. We also have improvements for the community center coming. One of the things we're trying to do is consolidate all of our call center operations into this building, including security dispatch. And so this budget provides funding to bring all that together on the first floor here in resident services, and provide a much better 24/7, 365 service for our residents. So I've been talking about this for about a year, and now we're doing it. And so it's coming. The planning has been excruciating, and so we're finally moving forward. We've had this building for about 15 years now.
Oh.
And in fact, it's paid off in November.
Wonderful.
We make our last payment, so the village owns the building now, free and clear.
Wonderful.
And that's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing in that all the systems here are at least 15 years old, some of them 20 years old.
True.
And so things like the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning are worn out and have to be replaced.
And 20-year roofs. The roof may need a little
The roof is
attention.
needs a new roof. And so a lot of that stuff is in this budget as well. We have a lot of vehicles that we're purchasing this year. A lot of just equipment for our maintenance staff, but also many of you have heard that we're reducing the number of big diesel empty buses that are traversing our community, and we're going with a much smaller, more efficient, and environmentally friendly and our alternative fuel vehicles. So we anticipate purchasing a number of alternative fuel, perhaps electric buses to replace this aging diesel fleet. These vehicles will be smaller. They'll be able to get into small cul-de-sacs and pick people up. And we anticipate much more demand response service. So instead of standing out there by the curb and waiting for a bus to perhaps come by and pick you up and take you on a long and tortured route, circuitous route to get someplace, I'd really like to just send a nice electric van to your manor and pick you up and take you where you want to go. And so we're going to be doing a lot more of that.
Well, it sounds like more service, but more streamlined service as well.
Yes, it'd be more efficient. It would be much more comfortable and much quicker for residents to get to their destination and back. And so we're very excited about doing that. And the response from residents has been very, very positive.
Oh, that's wonderful.
They're looking forward to that. We also we're doing a lot of stuff at Clubhouse 1.
Oh, yes.
And the first thing we're doing is really an assessment. Clubhouse 1 is beautiful from the outside. I mean, the architecture, the maintenance, the landscaping is just gorgeous. When you get inside, not so much. And so a lot of the activity rooms and even the main lounge, quite frankly, just really aren't up to where we would like to see it. And so the air conditioning is worn out and heating is worn out there. A lot of systems are worn out. And so before we invest a lot in that building, GRF has asked us to conduct an assessment on all those systems.
Yes.
Structural, mechanical, electrical.
The ones you don't see. The
Yes.
ones you feel
Yes.
but don't see.
Is the building, or various components of it worth investing in? And so
Right.
that's what the assessment will tell us. I've been up in the rafters and on the roof and all around.
Oh my goodness.
And there are deficiencies there, but I mean, just a very superficial look at it in my mind says, yeah, I think a lot of that is worth investing in, but we want to get professionals in here to give us their opinion on those things. So we'll do the assessment first, and I'm hoping to come in and take care of the heating and air conditioning systems, do some cosmetic work there, and then really kind of prepare for maybe a larger remodel project that will include, the main ballroom and the activity rooms. We would like to, and we're going to wait till after the assessment to fix the fitness center up a little bit there. The response at Clubhouse 5 and downstairs at the community center has been huge.
Yes.
As I think I've said before on your show, the fitness centers are the most popular recreation activity in the village. And they're very heavily used with lots of residents, and we did a survey recently. It was #1 with a bullet.
Oh, there you go.
Ahead of everything. And so that's why we're investing there, and Clubhouse 1 is in need of new flooring and some new equipment, lighting, maybe add a little music and some TVs in there to give it a little pop. And so we look forward to working with residents on that after the assessment's complete.
And
So
that's probably music to those residents' ears
I
as
hope so.
well. If they're using that gym, that fitness room at Clubhouse 1, they're going to be really happy to see any improvements there.
Well, we had a problem a couple of weeks ago. The air conditioning is very, very problematic over there. Where we had a
yes.
little downtime, and so a lot of those residents came to the community center because of that problem. And now I'm getting the emails. Hey, when are you going to take care of our fitness center? And it's in the budget. We're going to
Yes.
take care of it. So
Yes.
we're working on that. So yeah, Clubhouse 1 is very, very big. We're also looking at a lot of furnishings over there.
Well, that's true. You've got some that are mismatched.
This is the year of the
little bit.
chair. We've got chairs in a
Here
lot
we
of different
go.
areas. Yeah.
There's a view.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sort of is a pretty good example of the array of chairs that are used.
A cornucopia.
And many of those in the same room simultaneously. So
Wow.
they're old. I think they've given good service, but it's time to retire some of these chairs.
I think
And
I
so-
specified chairs like that back in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
when I was doing architecture.
So, yeah, we're gonna move on with some new chairs.
Yes.
We've also got some pool furniture that's pretty worn out at Clubhouse 1 as well, and so we're gonna replace that. We've got
And it's such a beautiful pool area too.
we've got some chairs going on at other clubhouses
Yes.
as well. Here's a nice shot of the pool. It's a beautiful pool. It
It
should
is.
have beautiful furniture to go with it. And I think historically we've bought the cheapest furniture that we could, and then every other year or so you buy it again
Well,
and again and again.
That's true.
And I think if we upgraded the quality a little bit, maybe you replace just the covers every 5 years or so, but the
True.
furniture itself lasts a long time.
That's
And
right,
so
a
I
little
think
more
that's
sturdy.
a better model for us.
I think so too.
So we're heading in that direction. We've got a lot of cable and internet infrastructure that we're working on as well. I think we've shared some
Yes.
pictures of some of the deficiencies that we have here. These pedestals and nodes are kind of the backbone. I hate to say that. It looks like maybe there's some stenosis or maybe bulging disc there, but
A little
it
bit.
is the backbone of
Yes.
our cable and internet infrastructure, and it just needs a lot of work. we'll take care of this mostly this year.
Yes.
And then here's a couple of vaults here. We'll
You
take
know,
care of that too.
And you've shown us pictures before, but
have.
these are new pictures.
Yeah, they're a little bit
You've got
different.
even more pictures of the conditions out there.
So we'll take care of this year.
Yes.
As part of this budget approval. And then the long range plan, we have 4,000 boxes out there that serve the manors.
Wow.
And so those are in similar condition. I mean, they're off the ground and attached to a wall, but all the connections are rusted and they're really old school.
Yep.
And so we need to have a program to go through those 4,000 boxes. And I suspect we've probably fixed 500 or 600 of them already, just because residents called, there was a
Right.
problem, and we went ahead and fixed it. And we do that. Anytime a resident calls, that usually is the first thing we check, is what's going on in the box.
Right.
And then if it's deficient, then we go ahead and replace all of the residents' service who are coming
that's
from that
wonderful.
box. And so we'll get a program to go through all of that and replace it. We're still adding a lot of infrastructure this year to the cable and internet system. The other thing we're rolling out, and the board approved, I didn't get a picture of it, but we're adding a really excellent box/DVR to our lineup. I'm hoping in January. We had to get a little more bandwidth going
Yes.
on before we could do that, but this will allow for a number of different things, including recording several different things simultaneously.
Oh, that's true.
As well as having built-in over-the-top access for things like Hulu and Netflix and all that, and then having the bandwidth to allow people to do that. 'Cause
Yes.
that's one of the problems we've had in the past. If you get several hundred residents, at 7 o'clock at night, all
Watching
down
high definition
and
online,
Netflix,
right.
it takes the thing down. And so the improvements we recently made will cure that.
Yes.
And so now we're ready to actually encourage residents to do that.
Oh, good.
And so we're excited that they'll have another opportunity to look at things maybe that we don't have on our programming. We provide a good lineup. It's very fairly priced.
Yes.
But there are some things we don't have. And so residents can, go online and access those services over the top, so to speak,
Yes.
using this new box that we're going to provide. So it should be fun.
That's a large scope of work.
Yeah, and I think we're well on the way. I know
Yes.
Chuck talked about some of that when he was here last week, but it's a lot of investment, but it's also the most used amenity we have. Every resident, for the most part, uses cable TV.
That's true.
And 10,000 of our residents utilize our internet service.
And
So-
to hear about this more in depth, Chuck and you and Paul Ortiz from our TV6 station, and Chuck will be having the town hall meetings so
Yes.
people can really hear about all the changes.
No,
that
I
are
encourage
coming.
people to tune in to that. We've been advertising the heck out of it,
Yes.
and to or even come down if you'd like to come in person, maybe ask a question or two. Come down to the community center, and we'll make
There
that
it
happen.
is, August 17th,
There you go.
4:30 in our community center in
Right.
the boardroom.
Now we have about 80 chairs in there, but we'll be setting up an overflow room as well with another 40 or 50 in
Yeah.
case a lot of people come, and then of course you can always watch it on Village Television.
Yes,
So
that's true.
so that's good. So I don't know how much more of this we want to hear. Maybe I'll go through quickly. One of the things I'm very pumped up about is putting technology in security vehicles.
Yes.
Right now, the security officers end up going back and forth to the office, back and forth. They got to do their reports. They want to get information on a suspect or a resident.
Yes.
Back to the office. So we're putting an end to that. We're putting their office in their car. And so we're adding these security vehicle computers so
Yes.
that if they need to know a contact for a resident, maybe a relative or something, or they need to figure out something about an individual who's causing some problems, and have they caused problems before, they can access that information right from their vehicle.
Right there from the
Yeah, they don't have
driver's
to-
seat.
Call or security dispatch and have one of them stop doing what they're doing and run off and try to figure things out, which slows down our dispatch. And so they'll
And
have
slows
it.
down the response to
Absolutely.
any immediate situation.
So they're going to be out there their entire shift and not going elsewhere or on the phone for a long time. So really want to make that happen for our residents, to just beef up security. When you combine this with the gate projects, security is moving in a big big direction.
Well, it's bringing things up to speed. I have a husband who's in law enforcement as well, so I know just clear and immediate communication is one of the most important things.
Absolutely. And I think moving the dispatch and everything with the call center is a further enhancement of that.
Yes.
So I don't know, do you have time for more, or are we done?
Yes. What else you got there?
Well, we talked about chairs. Here's another group of chairs that I really like.
Oh, neato.
These are the chairs at Clubhouse 5. And as I said yesterday at the meeting, they're very, very special in that you can stack these things to the roof.
Oh, yes.
And so they're easy to store. But the more stackable a chair is, the less comfortable it is.
Oh.
And we have a lot of really, really long events over there, whether
Yes.
it be the comedy shows and just all kinds of dances and performances. A very active clubhouse. These are 25-year-old chairs. They've provided
Good service.
honorable service
Yes.
to the village and its residents. But we're going to try to find something that's a little more comfortable for these lengthier events that occur over at Clubhouse 5. So and then the only challenge is we've got to find a place to put them.
Oh.
Because I think that was the primary feature in purchasing these, is that you
Yes.
could stack them to the ceiling.
Yes.
And so they were easy to store. So we're going to take care of this. And there's so many other things that are in the plan that I know residents are going to love. And
there
we're
it
just,
is.
Oh, this is a good one too. This is a new digital movie camera,
Yes.
projection camera for the Performing Arts Center. And we've been doing these movies and very lively live performances that
Yes.
require this technology. The old camera was, I think, 10 or 12 years old.
And in
Sort of-
camera life, that's old.
That's really old, kind of analog and fuzzy, and a lot of the features were not really functional. And so we're bringing these wonderful HD movies,
Right.
to our residents there, and so we want to really have them crisp and bright, and this will let that happen. And
If you compare camera years to dog years, I think camera years are going to double that.
they could.
They could.
Anyway, so that's what I have for you today, and
Yes.
and again, there's many things that we didn't talk about that are in the budget, projects and programs and activities, and despite all that, we've kept some pretty good downward pressure on cost to residents, and I think that's something that they expect and demand, and that I'm committed to. So there we go.
There we go. And thank you for being here, sir, and for this recap of all of the things that were presented yesterday.
Well, I know the GRF board was very excited about many of these projects, and they were very enthusiastic about moving forward aggressively and bringing things to our residents in a timely manner, and we're committed to that as well.
It's true. They're very conscientious. And thank you for letting us know again what you all have been talking about.
Very good. Thank you.
And we'll see you again, not next week, because we're inviting more people to come and be a part of the CEO report and give their view from their department.
I think you're getting Ernesto Munoz next week, who's our
Yes.
maintenance and construction director, and he's going to tell you about all the projects he's working on, probably some that I missed today.
Oh, well, there you go. So we'll be welcoming more people from our organization to talk to us on Thursday mornings, but we're always happy to have you here for our CEO report.
Well, thank you very much. Pleasure.
Absolutely. And thank you for being with us. Stay with us right after this. Ken will be back, and we'll also be hearing from Jennifer Carmarker and our wonderful Globe newspaper headlines.